So in today's video, we are going to be recapping the Royals and the Twins series. Now, before we get into the video, please consider liking and subscribing, and let's jump right into the video. So the Royals won the series 2-1, but to be honest, it was a series that was kind of disappointing to watch in a couple of different aspects, but at the same time, there was a lot of good things to come out of it. So let's just get right into the positives and not dwell on the negatives right now. The pitching in this series was really good by the Royals. The only bad pitching that really the Royals had during the entire series was Carlos Hernandez in the first game, where he went 4 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, and a walk, and he had no strikeouts. But other than that, the pitching was really good in this series. The bullpen backed up Carlos Hernandez in game 1. Daniel Lynch had a really good outing in game 2. He had 5 innings. He only gave up 4 hits, and he had 0 earned runs. And then in the final game of the series, Zach Greinke had himself a fairly solid game. Wasn't perfect, but he pitched 5 innings. Only gave up 1 run, only had 1 strikeout, gave up 6 hits. Again, his outing wasn't perfect, but he did a really good job, I thought Zach Greinke did in his outing. And when it comes with the pitching as well, I thought the defense is a spectacular defense. Like, the Royals have probably one of the best defenses in all of baseball. Like, the defense is not an issue with the Royals. Like, the pitching recently has not been an issue. Definitely not the bullpen. The bullpen has been pitching some flawless baseball recently, and they're doing really good job coming in for the starters, giving them great relief innings and not giving up any runs in those innings, not causing any more damage. They're coming in, getting the job done. I think the Royals have 21 innings or so straight with the bullpen not giving up a single run. So they have like a 21 inning scoreless streak right now. So the bullpen is locking things down. The bullpen is doing great things for the Royals right now. And if we're the bullpen and pitching, defense, nothing to worry about with the Royals. What the biggest issue is with the Royals, I think, is the offense of this team. Because let's start breaking down each of these games. We look at game 1. Salvi had a 2 home run game, and a fun thing about his home runs, all of his 4 home runs during this season have been part of multi-home run games. He had 2 against the Cardinals, 2 against the Twins in the first game of the series, and all of them have come as the DH. So the Royals might have something with Salvi as the DH in the future. Hunter Dozier had himself a really good game. He demolished a home run. But most of the Royals offense, it came off 3 solo home runs in game 1, and it came off of a Nicky Lopez bases loaded walk. So when it comes to the actual offense of the Royals and putting balls in play, it's coming off the home run ball and the walks in game 1. Obviously, any run is good. Any run is something that you want to put on the board, but at the same time, it's little things like in game 1 when the Royals didn't take advantage of the opportunities they have. Nicky Lopez got a double in the first inning with 1 out. The Royals couldn't score with that. The Royals had bases loaded twice with 1 out in the 5th inning. That's when the Nicky Lopez walk came. And then right after that, Bobby Witt Jr. grounded into a double play. Bobby Witt Jr. grounded into back-to-back double plays, back-to-back days. So Bobby Witt Jr., his defense is golden. His defense is really good, but at the plate, he's really struggling right now. So like little situations like that. Yes, the Royals won game 1 4-3. And, the home run ball, always fun to watch. Getting a walk with bases loaded is really fun. But when you have 1 out, bases loaded, you would like a little bit more out of those situations, a little bit more out of that. And, the Royals, they couldn't capitalize on that in game 1. But I mean, and then we're looking at the rest of game 1, back to the pitching just for a minute. Carlos Hernandez, basically the same outing as his first one. It wasn't particularly good, but he did do a couple good things. He got out of a jam in the 3rd inning after the Sanchez double. The 4th inning was a really big struggle for Carlos Hernandez. He gave up a triple to Nick Gordon, giving up 2 runs in the 4th, but then the bullpen came in, backed him up, did a really good job. But when it comes to the defense, just some notes from game 1. Benintendi, he had a good game at the plate. Defensively, he kind of struggled a little bit. He bobbled the ball, which caused the Gary Sanchez double, but then the very next play, Michael A. Taylor backed him up, threw out Sanchez at home, and so the defense was backing each other up. Benintendi struggled, but the defense would back him up, and that was a really good thing to see. Game 2, Royals won game 2 2-0. Daniel Lynch had a really good outing, as we mentioned, in that game. And then again, bullpen backed him up, 4 scoreless innings, and Daniel Lynch's outing was much better than the first one that he had. And then we always say Royals, spectacular defense as always. And I say this, like, if the Royals, if in baseball, if you could score runs with defense, like, the Royals might be the best team in baseball, because the Royals have absolutely no offense really to speak of, at least when it comes to taking advantage of opportunities that are presented in front of them. Because in the first inning of game 2, the Royals scored a run but hit into a double play while doing so. That was part of Bobby Witt Jr. hitting into double plays in back-to-back days. But then the 5th inning, things kind of got going. In the 5th inning, Benintendi was able to single. Dozier hit Benintendi to third, so they had runners at first and third. Mondesi laid down a really beautiful bunt and moved Benintendi home, and then you have Dozier at second, Mondesi at first, because during that sequence, during that time, series of events, what the Royals were able to do, there was no outs. The Royals had 2 runners on, first and second, nobody out, and they couldn't do anything with that either. So that's the thing. The Royals aren't really doing a good job of taking advantage of things, and that's some things that got to be cleaned up. And then game 3 was just, it was gross. Watching game 3 was really not that fun, if I'm being 100% honest. Again, Zach Greinke did his job, wasn't perfect, gave them 5 innings of, not perfect baseball, but, only gave up 1 run, did his job. Bullpen came in, was really good. And then the defense was spectacular as always. It had 3 double plays in 1 game. So, the defense, if your pitching isn't necessarily perfect, Zach Greinke does a good job of using the defense, which is really all that you can ask for. The pitcher, has a great defense to back him up every single game that he comes in. But again, the offense was always the issue. The Royals tried a new lineup in game 3. The lineup didn't really work at all, because the Royals offensively really didn't do anything at all. Benintendi got a triple, but then was thrown out at home on a Salvi pop fly, so that wasn't fun to watch. And then Bobby Witt Jr. doubled, and then Mondesi flied out on the very next pitch. So, like, anytime the Royals had a chance with a runner in scoring position, they really didn't do much with it. So when it comes to the Royals right now, a lot of things that they got to do differently. They've got to learn to take advantage of situations where they have guys, in running scoring position, and it's not like, it's 2 outs when the situation arise. The Royals are in a fairly good situation every time it comes up, 1 or 2 outs for the inning, and they're just not doing much with the bats right now. Benintendi, I think, is probably playing the best on the team when it comes to at bats right now, but other than Benintendi, guys aren't really playing particularly well at the plate. But with the great pitching, it seems like recently they're going to put them in spots where they can succeed every single day. It's just that the hitting has got to get better with the Royals. And if the hitting gets better, I think this team has potential to be really, really good, make some noise, win a lot of games. But it's just the lack of offense is really hurting the Royals right now. But that is my recap of the Royals and the Twins series. Give me your thoughts down below of what you thought of the Royals and the Twins, and I'll see you in the next one.